Welcome back, still Breakfast, Central on News Central today, the 6th day of December 2019. Don't forget you can also catch us right here online on social media with Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn. Don't forget to log on to the website, newscentral.africa, and also watch us live on YouTube. And to join the conversation here is only one hashtag, NC Breakfast Central. Let's move straight to more of our discourse today on the impact all about spending habits for December, especially for millennials. And December fever, as we know, is upon us, whether you call it the festive season. Many have called it Detty December. I don't know why, but December has, you have lots to join, eat and drink and all that. And I'm joined by Tosin Olaseinde, the founder of the Money Africa. Tosin is a chartered accountant who knows money matters, both literally and otherwise. So, spending habits in December for millennials, Tosin. Welcome to the show, first of all.
Thank you.
Morning. So it's December is upon us. It's just the 6th day. What should we be wary of, basically?
There's actually nothing to be wary of. It's an exciting season. We have every reason to be excited.
Yeah.
I mean, people have worked hard the entire year, so it's time to let your head down, sit back, enjoy, relax.
Is that why they're calling it Detty December? Because I'm just learning this one.
I think they're also looking at, they're excited. They've worked the entire year. People have been through stuff. So it's just nice to just relax and, let the year wind up. Okay,
millennials are usually categorized as, often confident, ambitious, goal-driven. How do they get to handle their finances?
I mean, that's a very, very good question. We don't have exact statistics, but if you're looking at what is happening in the developed market, because we don't have actual numbers and we don't want to thumb suck, in as much as we're very ambitious, we're also very let's do it now. You understand? So I wouldn't want to use the word live for the moment, but very, very ambitious with their spending as well. So the dreams are ambitious and so is the spending, and it could be a bit of a problem.
Okay, so how should they manage the spending actually?
All right. How should they manage their spending? Sorry, I'm sorry, I caught you. Wanted to say more?
Yeah. What do they have to do to really manage their spending? Because today is the 6th. Even if you still have a couple of savings left over, as the days goes by, so does the money goes.
Absolutely, I agree. I think one thing that we always start with is personal finance is actually 80% mindset and 20% knowledge. So we can teach the
80%
mindset and 20% knowledge.
So you don't really have to be an expert about it.
You don't. Guess what? The experts are struggling. So people that have, I come from a finance background, and for the first few years of my career, I struggled with my money. So if you even go to financial investment bankers, they struggle with their money. So the knowledge, I'm here to break the myth that it's not enough to have the knowledge, you actually need to have the mindset.
Okay.
So the very first thing for us to start with is that, what is the mindset? December, yes, it's fantastic, it's the end of the year, but really there are always so many other Decembers. Another December is going to come again and again. The sun is going to shine, it's going to set, you understand? So number one, mindset. So how are you looking at your money? Do you have a budget? Are you very strategic about planning for that money for the seasons? And also, it's also just been about being honest. So what is your income? What are your expenses? How are you going to plan it? Very, very deliberate. Number 3, take the money out of your hands. So if you have a pool of money you want to spend in December, whatever that is not meant for spending, get it out of your hands. Get it out of the way. So that way there's no temptation. Lock it away. So there are a couple of flexi accounts that forces you to save and fix that deficit. And if you were to break it, you're going to lose some of your interest. So put it in something that you would have to pay to access it. Just to exercise discipline. Because at the end of it, discipline is actually at the very root of financial management.
Discipline is something many people might say they have for financial, but when it comes to the month, because of the Christmas spending, the advertising, the rush, the sales, we just had Black Friday, that really came with lots of hype. But what would you say about millennials, about their spending? Is it for convenience or for comforts or necessities?
Convenience is playing a very key role here. I mean, we can also see that there's an emergence of lots of tech-enabled products. So now they want to be able to save their money on their phone. They want to be able to order for food from their house. They want to be able to call the dry cleaners from their house. So you say millennials
spend on convenience, not comfort.
Yeah, convenience is very, very key. So if you're building any product that is targeting millennials, you always have to think of what is the easiest way I can have this done. You understand? They want to go commute. They want to use an Uber, convenience, or a Taxify. So convenience is very, very key to millennials. Very, very key. But that being said, it's still possible to be able to achieve convenience, to be able to achieve the things you want, and still to be able to plan for the future. It would be very counterintuitive if we're just telling people to save and invest, and the truth is there has to be a balance, and that's where a budget comes in. And other people sometimes see budgeting as being limiting, almost as though, oh, don't do that. But no, it actually puts power in your hands. You're telling your money where to go. You're being very deliberate about it. So if there's anyone listening to this show today, I'm just telling them to please drop a budget for the Christmas. And it's also very, like, it shows you the numbers. So you can actually see that, oh, if I'm earning 100,000 naira and I'm planning to spend, let's say 40% of my income, I actually only have 40,000 naira to play with. Now, with that 40,000 naira, I can be deliberate. So will I rather go for Olamide's concert? Or would I rather subscribe for DSTV and actually stay indoors? Or will I do both? Or will I share somebody else's Netflix? Do you understand? So you're making an informed decision. You understand? So will I spend on data to share Netflix? Will I subscribe for DSTV? Will I go for the physical concert? Or how can I achieve all three? Or how can we pool resources together to enjoy something? Instead of always going for parties, can we have a potluck? Everybody comes together. We choose one of our friends' house. We all bring food. You're making deliberate, informed decisions, and that is what budgeting does for you.
So there's one thing about creating the budget. Another thing is
Following
sticking to it. I guess that's where the challenge comes.
I agree. Like,
because if you have a budget and you just deviate from it once, one extra spend and the rest goes out the window. Like, like we already said about how it's a mind game, how 80% of it actually starts with the mind. So, but you can't rely on your mind alone to make it work. You also have to put tools in place, right? And then that's what we spoke about, getting the money out of your hands. You can't spend money you don't have. So you can't. Push comes to shove. If you don't have the money, you can't spend it, right? So now I can spend $1 million because I don't have $1 million. So that's one of the techniques. The minute you get paid, I know many people are also going to get paid a bonus for those that are getting a 13th check. Get it out of your hands. Like good news.
It sounds like good news. Yes, get it out of your hands. You have to be very deliberate about that. Now, that being said, based on research, in the first 2 months of the year, that is January and February, the gyms see the highest subscription for their services, because now people are like, oh my gosh, it's a new year, I want to start exercising.
I thought they said January, February January is the dry month.
It depends for who, but not for the gyms. That's when they say the highest subscription, because people want to, like, goals, fit fam, I'm starting the new year, I want to fix up. And then they might not come for the rest of the year. But that January and February, the gyms are filled up. So again, mindset, right? So how do you put controls in place to ensure that you follow through? You might fail today, but you can start again tomorrow, and just being very persistent about it. Another thing that actually works is an accountability partner.
Okay.
So get an accountability partner. Another thing that also works is a group. So now there's some groups, and I'm not trying to promote, like, we also have a Money Africa accountability group that just helps people stay in check. The way you check up on your friend, how are you doing, how's work, how's everything, you can also do that for your finances as well, to ensure that you're on track.
Still talking about spending, wow, and how to avoid the trap of Detty December. I still got Tosin here. Tosin, let's check out this one, Vox Pop, on spending habits, millennials, plans for December, controlling spending, and what have you. Just enjoy this, and I'll be right back.
They say you're only young once, so pretty much any money you have, you spend.
I love to save a lot, and as much as I love to save, I also like to spend. So I put out a portion. After putting out my tithe, I don't joke with that. So after that, then I put out the portion for my upkeep.
I'm a student, so I plan my finances according to, like, the way I will put my budget. Or, like, say, first that will be on my list to be my school fees, my lodge money, my textbooks, handouts, stuff like that.
Well, at the top is, for me, that I don't pay rent and stuff. I think transport and savings. Then food.
When it comes to prioritizing my budget, I don't really, like, I just go for anything. The money I have now, I'll just buy anything. Just as long as it has to do with school, I'll just buy anything. I don't really like.
I try to put expense first in terms of what I need. I try to put things like what I will buy for the month. I can't really say really because it depends. Things are not really balanced, so it depends on what comes first.
All right, mixed bags. There's never a one size fits all, especially if we look at this workshop is done in Lagos, Nigeria, for our viewers across Africa. We're talking about millennials for Africa first. How people talking about school. People talking about expenses. People talking about just saving. Planning or getting what they come. So, but you think at some point we need to be talking about Nigeria where things are not really defined. Your bills are not really that defined. They are there, but they're not defined. Or like how you have in other Western climes where you know what's coming. It's gas bill, it's light bill, it's this bill, it's mail bill. It's that you can then budget. So how do you then plan a budget with this unforeseen unforeseeables?
Unforeseeables. You're very right, and I'm very happy you're asking that question. But another thing I want to ask is, if something happens every time, it's not an unforeseeable event. And if we're being honest with ourselves, about 80% of the things that happen to our money is actually steady. It's not unforeseeable. So a lot of people always talk about, Tosin, what about the unforeseeable event? But I'm like, how about the other part that is actually guaranteed, that is not unforeseeable? So a very good way to actually track that is to take your bank statement and go over the past 6 months. And if you're honest, there is a pattern. There is always a pattern. So you can see, what am I spending on transport? What am I spending on gifts? What am I spending on Ashoebi? What am I spending on eating out? These are one of the biggest culprits. So a lot of people are always saying, oh, Tosin, unforeseeable events. And when we search for the unforeseeable events, they're actually many a time less than 10%. There's always a pattern. So like I always say, like we said, it's mindset, it's being honest, it's being doing the homework, taking the financial state, taking your bank statement and actually going back the past 3 months or the past 6 months. Where is my money going? So once you know where your money is going to, it can help you be able to make the next move for the future.
Okay, so there's one advice we can take from this. We have to look at the bank statement for those of us who
use bank accounts to pay, but if you're always using cash,
even if you don't use cash, where is it going to in terms of looking at the last, perhaps keeping the receipts
absolutely, it works.
Of your transactions. I clearly need to go and find my own. I'm sure there will be lots of.
There'll be lots of it. Another thing Another thing I just want to chip in here. I know that lots of millennials are very tech savvy. There are lots of apps on your phone that work with your SMS. So every time you spend, the app picks it up and tracks it for you. So just being able to track. Like there are two things you don't completely outsource. It's your money and it's your health. So just being able to sit on top of it and be like, you know what, I'm going to fix this. How can we make it work?
Well, Tosin, thank you so much for coming on the show, man. It's been quite an interesting learning curve for people like me. Okay, the spending minus the Detty December. Okay, so there you have it on how to, start planning a budget and sticking to it in this, despite all the temptations that might be out there this December. It's just the 6th, so if you've not started the spending,
you have time.
We can carry on like that.